I swear. Look, my head is everything here. My head is everything. Look, I hope this. Then I hope this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. The fight is over here. The fight is over here. And then I want this head. Boom, boom, boom. From here. Boom, boom, boom. End the fight. Whatever. Okay, all right. What? His head is right here. Please.
Am I strong rockets? These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles.
I mean, he's the most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
The Eddie Alvarez fight.
Oh yeah. I was there.
Example.
I was there. Well, thanks to you. With really good seats. Thanks to you. But that was one of the best. That might be the best fight I've ever been to live because that whole card was just stacked, and that as the main event was just unbelievable.
Bro, he was in the Matrix. He was in the Matrix. He was just in the zone. You know, Dana said it best. He's like, that kid eats pressure. He goes, he eats it.
Yeah.
Like he thrives on pressure. Pressure that makes other people wilt.
Yes.
He like shines under that pressure.
And he had an amazing ability, even very early in his career, which was like kind of, it was really unique. Like, cause even like on his first fight ever, if you watch his first fight in the UFC, against, like Brimage, I think the guy's name is. And he was a relatively unknown at the time, but dude, the place is going nuts. He already had made so much kind of like street cred for himself. And then the Irish thing, like the Irish were really, really into it. But he, from the very first fight, he would always create these moments where it's like, dude, this is going to be the biggest spectacle that my opponent has ever been in their career. Like, I'm going to get you mad with shit talk, and I'm going to get the fans so excited because he's completely comfortable there.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure if you're really comfortable here, but and even with Aldo, who had been the entire division. He literally, when they started the division, they started him as champion. He didn't even win it. He came in because they absolved the WEC. Champion. So he was the entire featherweight division, had just dominated everyone. And he even created such a moment that like Aldo was like,
he was the boogeyman.
Yeah, dude, he was incredible.
He's
one of the greatest
featherweights of all time.
But he got him to the point where he was like so furious that he was like, I'm going to take this fucking guy's head off. And then Conor's just like relaxed. He's like he didn't care about any of the shit talking. He was just like, we're having fun. Let's play.
He lost his composure. Yeah, and he looked very overwhelmed by the moment. And by the way, everyone from Ireland came to Vegas for that fight. It was the nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. The entire Mandalay Bay was overcome with
expected hacks because I'm coming in fast. I tell you this, how are you doing after your 5-round fight with Oliveira? I thought some of the shots went for the back of the head. You had an opportunity to repay the favor you didn't take. I was disappointed in the result and the outcome of the bout and the shape the bout took. But how's the body? How are you feeling?
What it is, bro.
How's Hawaii?
I'm good.
I look forward to seeing you again in Las Vegas.
Hawaii's great, brother. Hawaii's great. I can't wait to see you in the Ninth Island, brother. How's Dublin? I heard you're sleeping in the gym, so that's great to hear, man. We're glad to have you back. I can't wait to get in there and mix it up, bro. We're gonna make some records.
Max, your fight with Conor was an early loss in your career, and I know you've been very vocal about wanting to get that victory back.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's super fun, you know what I mean? But in Conor's words, I don't even think that's a loss. He said he only count finishes. And last time I checked, that was a decision. So we're on over into his fight. And
I like this. I like this. Good. Ring the bell.
I like it.
Well, Conor McGregor is back under the brightest spotlight. And suddenly everyone has questions about what happens next in this sport. After surviving injuries, setbacks, and enough drama to fill headlines for years, many are wondering whether McGregor can actually rediscover his best form. Yet with a looming showdown against Max Holloway drawing closer, anticipation keeps growing fast. Meanwhile, McGregor continues training, sharing opinions with the media, and fueling even more buzz around his next fight. The biggest question still hangs in the air. Can McGregor seize the moment and reclaim former glory once again? Or will the pressure of facing a dangerous Holloway finally prove overwhelming?
Reason that Conor McGregor hasn't fought in the last at least 2 years, right, since the Michael Chandler pullout or, rescheduling that bout, it's because the UFC, they see the value of Conor McGregor and they don't want to waste it. But at the same time, it makes for a very difficult conversation and a very difficult scheduling for Conor McGregor. They know that they want to put him on a massive card. They want to make sure that they get the most value out of Conor because they're going to pay him a shit ton of money. So they need to get value out of him. And they want to make sure that they can either try to renegotiate with him to keep him under contract, or maybe they don't work as hard to put Conor in a fight if he's not being as receptive to renegotiations or receptive to, whatever the number is they want to give him for a fight. There's always some kind of negotiation issue. There's always some kind, because Conor is, as he said, Abriel, they said I was toast, but I'm still the bread, mate. It's true. He is the cash cow moneymaker, even still today, 11 years later after winning his first title. That says something. And it's why he hasn't been able to fight, because they want to be very selective. And they're going to iron out every little contingency in his contracts before they get him a fight. It's ridiculous, but it's the way the UFC works. And Zuffa Boxing, you better get ready.
Obviously, he's coming up against Max Holloway in a great fight. How do you see that matchup between those two?
Personally, I think because it's at welterweight, I see Conor knocking him out. Like, everyone's counting Conor out and thinks that Max is going to win. If it goes to the later rounds, yeah, Max definitely probably start piecing him up on the feet because he's got that cardio and the volume, but the fact that it's at welterweight, I think, favours Conor because Charles made Max look small at lightweight. So imagine how big Conor's going to look compared to him at welterweight.
That's the fight. If Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje. So the UFC can legitimately make Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor immediately. And you put Conor McGregor in a fucking title fight. If he has a really good performance against Max Holloway, which feels very unlikely, but let's say it happens. What a fucking fight. Because Justin Gaethje's stock has gone through the roof after the White House. I mean, he's a bona fide legend now. That would be a fucking amazing fight. And that point was pretty much the end of the interview, actually. So yeah, McGregor, is he changing? I think he is, but I think it's going to be a constant battle and one that he might get knocked down in a few times more before he eventually comes to the point that you kind of hope he would come to. But at least we're seeing some resemblance of a humbleness about him and just speaking like a man who's actually learned a thing or two over the years, which I think for a long time it was amazing how he was.
I felt like they could have done announcement with Conor and Holloway at the White House. I feel like that would have went really well for them. I think that would have been cool. I was also thinking about this on the drive-in. One of the reasons, many of reasons, they didn't put Conor on the White House card. Number one is the ticket sales, right? You can tell he's a big draw. Number two is, can you imagine the backlash that the left, CNN would have ran with if Conor, with his accusations in Dublin, going through, the grape stuff and all that?
That's interesting.
I bet you that had a hand in it where they're like, hey, this is the White House. We're already getting a ton of shit for it. Do we really want Conor's comeback fight after going through all those legal issues in Dublin being at the forefront of this? And the ticket sales, they're like, it's just a lose-lose. I bet you that had something to do with it. They didn't want that negative attention stealing the storylines.
Michael Bisping highlighted just how much this upcoming fight could shape Conor McGregor's legacy. Bisping admitted uncertainty about whether McGregor remains truly relevant in the sport and whether this bout will ultimately define his career. He warned that a loss would hand critics plenty of ammunition to re-examine McGregor's entire body of work. Meanwhile, Bisping looked back at the moments that fueled McGregor's enormous stardom, citing his dominant victory over Eddie Alvarez to become the UFC's first double champion, plus his stunning knockout of Jose Aldo, a performance that instantly turned him into global superstar.
I don't know if Conor McGregor necessarily has. Now, this is a big fight for him, for the sport, for his legacy, right? Because a lot of people are going to talk shit. If he loses this fight, fair weather fans, new people are going to be like, oh yeah, he doesn't seem like he was that good. The McGregor back in the day was that good. That's plain and simple. The way that he took out Eddie Alvarez, That was just beautiful. The Jose Aldo thing, that was one punch that was perfectly timed, incredible. But when he became double champ against Eddie Alvarez, that was a masterclass performance, okay? And then on the microphone saying, I'm going to apologize to absolutely nobody, standing there with the 2 belts on, the first person to ever do it.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
It was incredible. I'm not glazing the guy. No one can deny that. And that's why he became the biggest star on the planet. And that's why he got opportunities to go and face someone like Floyd Mayweather and make the ridiculous amount of money.
According to Michael Bisping, Conor McGregor's mindset appears to have taken a dramatic turn ahead of this fight. McGregor looks far more relaxed, but don't mistake that for complacency because he fully understands what is at stake. Bisping believes McGregor knows he can no longer afford the careless mistakes that defined some previous performances, especially at this stage of his career. With retirement rumors hovering in the background and the danger of slipping down the all-time great rankings after a defeat, the pressure couldn't be much higher. This isn't just another fight. It's a defining moment with everything on the line.
Life on the island of Hawaii, okay, on Hilo or whatever whichever island it is, I'm not too sure off the top of my head. Max blessed Holloway. Where's he come from? Honolulu? I don't know off the top of my head. Let me know in the comment section, please. But still, what do you think about McGregor, this new version of himself? He does seem to have calmed down a little bit. He does seem to be taking this one very, very seriously. And he has to. Because if he doesn't get the job done here, at 38 years old, and I think he'll be turning 39 3 days after the fight, if he loses, people will be saying it's time.
The conversation around Conor McGregor's upcoming fight keeps getting louder, with opinions flying in from every direction. Michael Bisping recently stressed just how crucial this matchup could be in shaping McGregor's legacy. Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett is backing a successful comeback, arguing that a move to the welterweight division might work perfectly in McGregor's favor. According to Pimblett, that switch could hand McGregor a noticeable advantage in both size and strength against Max Holloway, potentially setting up an early knockout finish. But there's a catch. He also warned that if Holloway survives the opening storm and drags the fight into deeper waters, his nonstop pressure and relentless offense could completely shift the momentum and give him the upper hand when it matters most.
Max Holloway in a great fight. How do you see that matchup between those two?
Personally, I think because it's that welterweight, I see Conor knocking him out. Like everyone's counting Conor out and thinks that Max is going to win. If it goes to the later rounds, yeah, Max definitely probably start piecing him up on the feet because he's got that cardio and the volume. But the fact that it's at welterweight, I think favours Conor because Charles made Max look small at lightweight. So imagine how big Conor's going to look compared to him at welterweight.
But the chatter surrounding Conor McGregor's comeback isn't staying inside the octagon. Brendan Schaub recently weighed in on why the UFC may have kept McGregor away from a potential White House appearance. While admitting that announcing a McGregor versus Max Holloway fight would have generated massive attention, Schaub suggested the organization may have been trying to avoid unnecessary controversy. According to Schaub, McGregor's ongoing legal issues and the intense media spotlight that follows him could have easily stolen attention from the event itself. In other words, instead of celebrating the occasion, the headlines might have turned into another McGregor spectacle, something the UFC may have preferred to avoid altogether.
The discussion surrounding Conor McGregor's return
YouTube commentator Brian Davis recently took a hard look at Conor McGregor's career, questioning how someone who started so brilliantly could lose momentum along the way. Davis admitted he finds it baffling that McGregor spent such a long period inactive despite remaining under contract, especially considering that his meteoric rise remains one of the most remarkable stories in MMA history. Yet in Davis's view, much of what followed felt like wasted potential. Looking ahead, he suggested that an impressive performance against Max Holloway could open the door to a showdown with Justin Gaethje and perhaps even another title opportunity, though he remains skeptical about that outcome. Davis also believes McGregor now appears more humble and reflective